Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dong Report, where I give out my favorite MLB home run picks of the day. I have 3 home run picks for you guys today, Wednesday, September 6th. We got a great slate of games for home runs to be hit, which we will get into. But before we get into those, I first need to do a recap of yesterday. And it was an awesome day. Great day yesterday. Again, I gave out 3 picks on this YouTube channel. We got 2 of those 3 to cash. We end the day up 5.70 units. That brings our total profit on the Dong Report up to 54.9 units with an ROI of 10.31%. I've been back for a little bit over a week from my trip to Alaska, and I am glad that I have been able to get back the losses that we made in Alaska when I had that ridiculous cold streak. Up over 50 units, up 54.9 units is awesome considering the streak that we had in Alaska. Let's hope to keep that streak going today. If you are not already, would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, comment, let me know your thoughts if you're tailing these dongs, what dongs you have that I didn't choose. But let's chat. So for today, our first pick is in the Twins versus Guardians game. We're going to go with Max Kepler to hit a home run. That is at plus 480 odds at FanDuel. Now, I will admit, I'm still a little bit mad at Max Kepler because we had him on Monday's show on the Dong Report. The Twins exploded for 20 plus runs. We didn't get a single dong from Max Kepler. That hurt. But I trust him to right those wrongs today. It's another absolutely incredible game from a weather perspective. 4 home runs to be hit in Cleveland. It's humid. The wind's blowing out. The ball is going to carry. Great game for weather. Of course, I will say the risk here is for Kepler. He hasn't hit a home run in his last 10 games. And the Guardians have a decent pitcher on the mound in Gavin Williams. So I'm not necessarily expecting the Twins to score 20 runs again, but with that said, this is still a pitcher-batter matchup that is squarely in advantage of the batter. This is according to Ballpark Pal. I looked up the stats, the matchup between these two, lists it as an advantage to the batter in Max Kepler, which makes sense because Kepler is significantly better against right-handed pitching than he is against left-handed pitching, and Gavin Williams is a righty. So looking at ISO rate, which if you're new to this channel, ISO rate stands for isolated power, literally just measures how much power a batter has. Anything that is 20% and above is considered great. Anything 25% and above is considered excellent. So Max Kepler's ISO rate against left-handed pitching is 17.3%. That's worse than great. Against right-handed pitching, that jumps up to 24.3%. So obviously that's in the great category. We prefer excellent, but great is okay. In terms of barrel rate, which measures how well you hit the barrel of the ball when you make contact, so swings and misses don't count. Only when you actually make contact, how well you barrel up the ball. Anything for barrel rate 10% and above is great. Anything 15% and above is excellent. Max Kepler is at 12.3% barrel rate, so he's great in that category, and he's great in ISO rate, so he qualifies for that. And even despite the recent cold streak that is on, if you isolate his ISO rate, which I know sounds a little bit confusing, but we're looking at his ISO rate specifically from August 1st to today. It's at 26%, so it's literally higher than his season average, and it is in the excellent category. And then if you look at the past 3 weeks, because we are a week into September, his ISO rate against right-handed pitching specifically is 29.2%. So once again, goes up. So I like for Kepler to hit one for us tonight, cashing our first play. Next up in the Mets versus Nats game, we're going to go with DJ Stewart to hit a home run. That is at plus 370 odds at FanDuel. Now, I absolutely love backing Stewart here. The guy is on fire. He's on an absurd hot streak. So in his past 5 games played, he's hit a total of 4 home runs, and he's hit at least 1 home run in 3 of those 5. So he did double dong one just a couple days ago. He only has 10 on the year, which doesn't look great. We have to keep in mind he hasn't played the entire year. He's only got 98 at-bats. So 10 and 98 at-bats is actually pretty good. And unsurprisingly, considering those numbers, if you look at his advanced stats, they look great as well. On his entire season, which I know is a smaller sample size, but for the entire season that he's played, he's got an ISO rate of 35.7% and a barrel rate of 16.7%. So he's one of the rare batters that is excellent in both categories. Now, he doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify, but both of those numbers would be tops of the MLB. Not number one, but would be among the tops in the MLB. if he had, again, had enough at-bats to qualify. Looking at the past 2 weeks for DJ Stewart, things start to look even better. The past 14 days alone, his ISO rate is at 45.5%. That's ninth best in the entire MLB in the past 14 days. He's also much better against right-handed pitching, which is what he will be facing tonight. On his entire season, his ISO rate against right-handed pitching specifically jumps up to 37.3%. Now, the weather in this one isn't quite as good as the Guardians game or the next game we're going to talk about, but it's still a positive weather script for home runs to be hit. I love DJ Stewart to mash one in this one, cashing our second play. And third and final pick of the evening is in the Mariners versus Reds game. We are going to go with Mike Ford to hit a home run plus 400 odds at FanDuel. Last pick of the evening, and unsurprisingly, this game being played at Reds Stadium. Incredible game. 4 home runs to be hit. You're definitely going to want action in this one, along with the Twins one as well. Now, Mike Ford, he's only got 15 home runs on the year, so those season-long stats don't look phenomenal, but he's one of those batters that his advanced stats look great for us. And he's hit 3 dongs in his last 10 games, including going back-to-back just a couple days ago on September 3rd and September 4th. So he has recent success as well. Overall, on his entire year, he's got an ISO rate of 28%. And that number jumps up to 29.2% specifically against right-handed pitching, which is what he will be facing tonight in the Reds in Leon Richardson. Now, Leon Richardson, I'm not going to call him an opener, but he also doesn't go super deep into games either. He's had 3 starts this year. He's gone 3 innings, 4 1/3, and 4 2/3. So again, he doesn't go full complement of innings for a starter. He's also not quite an opener as well. So Ford should get a decent amount, couple at-bats against him. And in those starts for Richardson, he's got a home run per 9 of 2.25, and he allows a batter barrel rate of 16.7%. Both of those numbers are comically bad for a pitcher. So when you keep that with that in mind, unsurprisingly, this is another batter-pitcher matchup that is squarely in advantage of the batter. And then looking at Mike Ford recently in his past 14 days, his ISO rate against right-handed pitching is at 42.9%, hitting 3 home runs in only 9 games. So recent success against righties. Love Mike Ford in this one, hopefully cashing our third and final pick of the evening. In terms of honorable mentions, there really was only one that struck out to me. That was Jose Ramirez to hit a home run. So honorable mentions. We actually did get one to cash yesterday. Win or lose, we don't track them, but people have been asking if there's anybody that I was close to going with, but I didn't. So here we have it, honorable mention. In terms of the 3 dongs, I put 1 unit on each of them individually. I put them in a parlay as well. If one of them hits a home run, we are making money. If all 3 hit a home run, we will be rich. So let's hope for that outcome. But regardless, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, remember to like the video, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff helps me out a ton. And have a good one.